Hey, it's Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast, and right here on the Infectious Groove YouTube channel. And one of the things we say all the time on the channel is, hey, give us suggestions for videos, and we would love to cover those topics. This one that I'm going to cover today came from a viewer, and this is one that I know a ton of people have opinions on. And to be honest, I think my picks this time out don't come from what I feel is a place of expertise. These are just songs that I really like. And a viewer of the channel asked me to cover my 5 favorite video game songs of all time. So again, I know there's people who have very strong opinions on this, and I totally get it. I consider myself a casual gamer at best. So some people might think that my choices on this particular one are kind of remedial, but I wanted to cover it because a viewer asked us to. Coming in at number 5 for me, and this is a countdown video, by the way. This one is one where these are my 5 in the order that I love them. Coming in at number 1 is the entirety of the music from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I'm not even a huge fan of the Castlevania series, but I absolutely love Symphony of the Night. And that's one where, again, I'm so kind of just adjacent to video game music that I didn't realize how much the music added to that game experience for me until years later when other people talked about the soundtrack for that game. And I was like, oh yeah. So the entirety of the soundtrack to Castlevania Symphony of the Night is good for me. The next one definitely leans back toward my rock music love and the different diversity in music that I've loved over the years. And that's the work that Trent Reznor did for the game Quake. Again, this is another one where it's honestly the whole of the work. I grew up in that era where all of us loved Wolfenstein and Sin and Doom and all those games. And then when Quake came out, we were all so focused on, the visuals and what they were going to bring as far as upping the ante from Doom that none of us were really thinking about the music. And then what Trent Reznor did for that soundtrack is just excellent. It's the first time I can remember really paying attention to who was doing what for video game music. The next one is definitely a classic, in my opinion. It's from a Sega Genesis cartridge, and it's not even level music, but the menu music from Streets of Rage 2 is, again, now this is the first one. At the time, I didn't know who composed the music or anything, but it was one of those things where I was like, wow, like there can be more to just like funsy, cutesy music happening in a video game, and that's in the title screen for Streets of Rage 2. The next two are just my 2 favorite things that have ever happened in video game music, and ones that I think most people would think of, at least the second one, as a classic. Coming in at number 2 for me is the underground theme on Super Mario Brothers 1, World 1, 2. That first time you drop through that pipe, and the music completely changes from this happy-go-lucky tune, the classic, that's the overworld theme, to something that like really evokes like, oh wait, this is a dark underground thing. It allowed me to use my imagination a lot more and like kind of see that level as a lot more than it was graphically on screen. In the number 1 spot, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be where the controversy comes, where people are going to be like, what and how. It's actually a 2-way tie from 2 different songs from the same game. The American version of Super Mario Brothers 2, which, yes, I know it was Doki Doki Panic in Japan and so on, but the American version of Super Mario Brothers 2, the overworld theme, I honestly think that the overworld theme in Super Mario 2, I like it better than the overworld theme in Super Mario. So right at the beginning of the game, when you drop out of the door, I love that theme. And then the underground theme from Super Mario 2. As soon as you go down into a vase or whatever those are, and you start digging up in the sand, it takes what they did in the first one and just, in my opinion, brings it to a whole new level. Like there's several layers to the underground theme that are not present in the first one that I think are just awesome. So thank you again to the viewers of the channel. Whenever you give us suggestions for videos, we try really hard to get to all of them. Even one like this where I think I'm going to get buried in the comments for people who know more on this topic than I do. But I wanted to at least share my 5 favorite video game songs of all time. What are some of your favorites? Please, by all means, comment on my picks and drop some of yours in the comments below. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.